Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach. So I was sick. Well, I don't know. Am I still sick? Are you still sick if you're recovering? I think I'm still kind of sick. Like, I'm not contagious, but like I am depleted in a way that's just like unreal. Anyway, I got back to work. So I have this cascade chart where every task it gets a different color, and if that task is not completed, I can't reuse that color. So these are the only available colors. So I have been getting a lot of stuff done, and it looks like the emails about damage and missing for Rock and Roll Ninja, the trickle has ended. So it's like, okay, I can finalize the spreadsheet today and then get that off to the a little gap there where I was sick. See, it says sick right there. There was a flurry of activity yesterday about Ed Piskor, and so I'm gonna read these tweets by Valerie and then we've got this. I can't find like where this is originally posted. Like, everyone and their mama sent me this 2-page story, but like I can't find like where it's originally from. So this is Don Simpson. He drew, I mean, I guess most famously Megaton Man. I never read it. I just know in like the late 80s, early 90s, if you read Amazing Heroes, like they loved it. So I don't know. I think he did some stuff with Marvel and Alan Moore in the early 1990s. Made some bank. It's I didn't really get it. I read this. I got some of it. I got some of the references. Others I just didn't get. I think the mainly important thing about this is somebody in comics is actually just talking about Ed. Like, he was murdered, and then their reaction was just to not talk about it at all. So, and I believe that's what Valerie is talking about. So she says yesterday, the Ed Piskor stuff continues to be so interesting to me, in that here you have the high-profile death of a comics professional as a result, per the deceased, of being canceled by comics social media. And if you mention the death in any way in certain circles, I mean mainstream comic circles, certainly, you are the, quote, bad person, unquote. You are the asshole. You are committing a microaggression. Because certainly the correct way to handle this entire thing is what mainstream comics media did. A quick obituary, not investigating, acknowledging any of the key reasons leading up to this death, and then, as certainly Piskor's own professional partner so publicly did even before he died, sort of memory hole the man, disavow knowledge, disavow friendship, etc. And this is why I find large swaths of the mainstream comics community just stuff I don't want to deal with. Because I think they handled the first clear-cut death as a result of the internet pile-on / cancellation in said community in a thoroughly shitty manner. Bonus irony, this happened to a person who co-hosted countless YouTube episodes of a show celebrating comics and comics creators. Holy shit. So she goes on, and while okay, I'm just stalling for time. I was supposed to have this ready, and then I did not. So there was a comment I got. I think the last time I talked about Ed was the 1 month, it's only 1 month anniversary of his murder. And there was a comment on that video that I just think about probably once per day. So I'm typing it in as I'm kind of stalling for time so I can find it, and here it is. So this guy said to my last video, he said, "You said it before and it's still accurate. To them, the accusation is the proof. They accused Ed of racism, but anyone familiar with his work and personal style would have immediately disbelieved that. They accused Ed of pedophilia, but even the person making the original claim denied that was the case. Their platform exists based on the superficial and the uninformed people who won't think further than the most inflammatory tweet. It's just hard to imagine what their purpose was unless it's clout. Ed Piskor wasn't anyone's enemy. He wasn't an agitator for some made-up faction, just a target of opportunity. It's such clinically sociopathic behavior, impulsivity, lack of remorse after hurting others, increased frustration, that it's hard for people to really grasp, which helps them get away with it." This phrase, target of opportunity, it just keeps like ringing in my mind because he makes a great point. While some people had little beefs and gripes with him, and apparently like Ramon Villalobos just hated the guy, Ramon Villalobos hates everyone. Like, he hates dozens of people, like on an active basis. So it wasn't that, man, they were just really looking to take Ed down. It's that the the opportunity presented itself. Oh shit, this guy ended up with an allegation against him. And Alex and Ramon, as I proved in my last video about this subject, they found an already suicidal man and they lobbed 5 false allegations against him just to completely bury him in despair, to push him as close as he was to the edge already. They wanted him all the way over. They needed him as close to the edge as possible. Right now, 2024, this does not meet the metric of murder, but in the future, not only will it be considered a murder, people will be very confused that it ever wasn't considered murder. You found a suicidal man. You then lobbed 5 false allegations so that in his despair, he was like, well, even if I prove myself innocent of that allegation, now I have 5 more allegations to deal with while already being ostracized by my community, while already being betrayed by my creative partner. And I just, it's like not thinking that like wire fraud should be a crime. Like I've mentioned, I'm writing a Western, and in it, a woman basically invents wire fraud, and it's not illegal yet. So the people she stole from, they're not really sure what to do. But nobody really hated him that much. They kind of handed Ramon the lead. They're like, Ramon, you've kind of been like annoyed with this guy on and off for a couple years, right? He's like, yeah, fuck that guy. You take the lead. You take the lead. You start, you get the ball rolling. And then Alex, I don't know what the what was Alex DeCampi's beef with him? That he was a culture vulture, which means he basically loved hip hop. There wasn't like, it wasn't like the loom of fate was decided by God herself, and said, there shall be only one comic book encyclopedia of the history of hip hop. Like, that was available. You could have done that. Nobody really did it. Ed did it. It was very successful. Chuck D was eulogizing him after his death. Obviously, in some way, he was accepted by the hip-hop community. Um, Alex is just an evil bitch who she just likes to see people tortured and killed. It's just fun for her. She's a witch. But the idea that they weren't even really targeting him, it was just happenstance. It was just, oh hey, you know Ed Piskor? Oh yeah, that guy, hip hop family tree. Yeah. He's got some allegations. They're like, ooh, Ramon's gonna love that. Yeah, Ramon hates him for some weird reason. Yeah, so let's move on and read the other two. So Valerie says, and part of the reason I just wrote this is witnessing this almost violent reaction to Don Simpson's Piskor comic. You know, like he broke the, yeah, I'm totally going for the pun here, sorry, kayfabe, that this thing never really happened. That a dude in the industry didn't take his own life because of these events. I mean, just like visceral anger at Simpson, who I thought already had a very balanced, tongue-in-cheek, satirical take on it, that probably had much more of a place in the 1990s than the current environment. So what is the answer, folks? Cancel Don Simpson too? Start another campaign? Where does it end? And here's an even bigger question. We're getting too old for this bullshit, aren't we? This Mean Girls, I mean the Mean Boys in this, I include the Mean Boys in this. Cancellation, gleeful, rumor mill, shunning, blacklisting bullshit doesn't age well, folks. Not mentally, and sure as hell not physically either. I mean, you look at the, just look at fucking Alex DeCampi and Ramon Villalobos and tell me their fucking dog shit in their soul is not bubbling up to the surface. This is some sad shit. And meanwhile, life's going on. The industry is going on. Hollywood is going on. And we're going to see the result of the past 15 years. We are already seeing it. Getting your internet points ain't gonna sustain you forever. And it certainly isn't gonna sustain your rep as an artist and creator over the decades. Unless you really deserved it. Unless you really had that talent and crafted truly amazing stories people will remember fondly for many years to come. So it's bullshit. I just needed to say that. And I witnessed the utter minutia of this crowd for many years, the inner circle, if you will, and have admittedly served as a useful idiot for that crowd myself. Bullshit. It was bullshit. Bullshit. And then Robert Downey Jr. says that's bullshit. And then I believe this is the most recent statement. Valerie says, when I was the target of Alex DeCampi's online bullying and rumor mongering for many years, to which there are many witnesses, I found few people within the mainstream comics community who seemed to truly give a shit or would come out publicly to either defend me or at least let me know what the fuck was going on. But many of these same people show concern for her being blamed for Ed Piskor's passing, and they want to restrict any online conversation on this issue for her best interest. Because I guess when you're not in the group, you're not really a person, you're a non-person. And I get it, it's human nature, right? I've hung out with all types of peer groups in my life, and they've all had their flaws, but I've never in my life witnessed something as utterly cold-blooded as this comic industry media community dynamic. I started to believe that the real reason I was involved in comics at all wasn't so much to write stories about superheroes, but to witness the profound rotting of a particular social industry circle over the course of almost 2 decades. That was the story I was supposed to tell, to pick apart, to try to understand, to try to find the dark humor in superheroes were just the backdrop. So pretty fucking intense stuff. I mean, there's a lot to pick apart here. I don't really want to be that type. Even with Don Simpson's, like, I agreed with some of his points I disagreed, and some of them I was just like, I have no fucking idea what he's referencing. Although I did see the inclusion of, I believe this is Wendy Whitebread, Undercover Slut, famous from Infinity -1 ads in, it would have been probably Comics Interview, late 80s, early 1990s, and I gotta chuckle out of that because, I mean, if you want to name a character that Ed Piskor would have recognized instantly, it would have been this weird, niche, smutty, indie character from, what, 1990, whatever? But, the thing she says about, like, everybody's too old for this shit. The ages of the people who actively participated in cancel culture were accused of Ed's murder in his suicide note, mid-30s to 50s. Fucking 50s. Like, it's appalling. And talking about, you know, kind of legacy, Alex DeCampi did change her reputation. For the last 10 to 15 years, she was known as a bully. Now she is known as a murderer. This is not progress. Something happened that was horrible. I've been saying this for years. I think I started saying this in 2017. I fought in 2 desert wars. I've met the fucking Taliban. SJWs, cancel pigs, bullies. Worse. I've never seen cruelty like I've seen from people embraced by the mainstream comic book industry, including its corrupt press. She did a good point about how that's it's one thing, it's one clique. I've never met a terrorist as mean as Ramon Villalobos. There's a guy, he emails me, New York City detective for decades. He said flat out, he said he's never talked to a murder suspect, including convicted, as cold-blooded as Alex DeCampi. There is something in comics, an industry that has no self-esteem, an industry that will not defend itself ever to actual threats, to actual monsters. Alex DeCampi is evil. I use that word very rarely. You know how rarely you meet someone who's evil? Not just you have a difference of opinion, not just everybody has a bad day. Alex DeCampi is evil. She has tortured people for years. Rich Johnston has helped her the entire way for whatever reason. You can't name 3 of her books, but you can easily name 3 of her victims. And that is not the legacy any person wants, certainly not a creative person. But it really is, you know, it's horrifying. It's dark. All I can think of, especially after being really sick, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, I actually thought I was going to die. Obviously I didn't. Plot twist. Sorry, spoiler. But I actually thought I was going to die. That was the sickest I have ever been. Like, it's not even fucking close. I did not realize I could be in that much pain. I didn't realize I could feel that bad, be that weak. And it was very quick. It was just like regular day, doing a lot of things. Came up with a new story. This was May 3rd. And then just like, I was literally texting friends. I was like, I think I'm dying. I think, I don't know, like maybe I'm about to have a heart attack. I don't know. Like I've never felt like this before. And getting better, and getting healthier, although my mitochondria are poisoned or something. I don't have energy. I can't get energy back. I got some energy, but I get like I just fade. You know, like a rechargeable battery that's just been used too many times and has been used up before. Like you just can't get that full charge on it. And I don't know what I need to do. But especially like kind of like, oh yeah, like what's happening in the industry? It's like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers kill people and nobody says shit. Whoa. So my main thing is just distance, just the most distance I can have. Stay away from these people. Stay away from all these people. Stay away from the mainstream industry. I was just thinking about this. Like, I remember when I first started publishing, you know, Jawbreakers books, they look good. They always looked good. Just production and art. And I always used to say very proudly, it's like, this is as good as a Marvel or a DC book. And I was like, man, if someone said my book was as good as a Marvel and DC book, I don't think we could be friends anymore, dude. Like, that would hurt. Be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you seen Marvel fucking comics? Did you see that giant size X-Men with Angel in it? Like, Marvel comics are shit. Like, I just watched this movie Moneyball. And I'm not a sports guy, but I love the movie. And the thing that I felt so envious is like, nobody's in baseball because they want to do something else. Nobody's just like the fucking general manager of the Oakland Athletics, but he really wants to work in basketball. Like he wants to be a basketball coach. It doesn't happen. Like everyone in baseball wants to be in baseball. So, like, when I think about Marvel and DC, not even just this toxic community that's, like, melded together with the corrupt press. Like, they're just losers to me. Like, you guys are just fucking losers. Like, one of the main things about Moneyball is they're always trading people. I didn't know you could trade people, like, throughout the season to a certain point. So they're just trading people all the time. And sometimes they just say it flat out. It's like, hey, I need to get rid of this guy. I want this guy. Or sometimes they kind of cajole each other. But I just imagine where it's like C.B. Sobolski calls Marie Javins. He's like, Marie, let us take that retard off your hands. She's like, which one are you talking about? It's like, you know who I'm talking about, Danny Lore. It's like, I thought maybe you were talking about Vita Ayala or T. Franklin. Like, we hire lots of retards. You know, we're not exclusive. You can just have them. They've worked for both. All of them have worked for both of us. It's like, okay. I see you're playing hardball there. Marie, I'm willing to trade you 2 black lesbian certified. We sent them to doctors. Certified learning disabled. For Danny Lore. And she's like, wait. Like, what is this? What is this? Like, you're a bunch of fucking losers. So you can look at it like this, like Alex DeCampi is probably like ChatGPT would say, yeah, this bitch is evil. I don't know what kind of dog shit is like bubbling out of the place where Ramon Villalobos is supposed to have a soul, but like I'm telling you, like the Taliban compared to like the rotten motherfuckers in comics, there's no fucking comparison. But like they're just fucking losers. Like, I was trying to describe Ramon Villalobos, and I was like, he's a guy who bet his entire career that an art style that was popular for, like, 2 years when Obama was president was just going to stay popular forever. He's a loser. Alex DeCampi is some 50-year-old bitch who fucking flamed out as a music video director, and now is just, like, some witch at large. Look out behind you! It's Alex DeCampi. They're losers. Heidi McDonald. Rich John, they're all losers. And if you're over there and you're like, yeah, I understand, man, but like, I got an awesome Batman story. Dude, the fucking copyright for Batman expires in like a decade. And I know if you're like, oh shit, like a decade at my age goes by like nothing. But maybe you're 19 and you're like, oh, I don't know, I can't really wait. I'm gonna go sell this amazing idea to DC. It's like, dude, you're 19. Batman is going to not have a copyright controlled by a corporation by the time you're 30. Just fucking wait, man. Go work a desk job. Like, if you're pitching or giving anything to Marvel and DC right now, dude, you're a fucking loser. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck? And yeah, it's not like all the great characters are going to fall into the public domain within the next, I don't know, 10 to 12 years. But half of them are. Do your own thing. Work a normie job. If you got that great Batman, Superman, Captain America, Wonder Woman. I got a Wonder Woman story. Holy shit. Everyone I've told that to, they're like, bro, it's... I mean, technically it's a Justice Society story, but she's in it and she's like the star. And the take I have on Wonder Woman, everyone's like, that's like the best thing that's ever been done with this character. Yeah. And you got like 10 years. But like, if I were to have a thesis, it would be like, why is anyone near or by the mainstream industry or anyone involved with it? Alex DeCampi can bumper gums about stupid shit, but it's a lot harder to do if you're not really involved with her at all, and none of your peer group is, and nobody who buys your comics buys hers because nobody buys her comics. Bitch, you are 52. Nobody can name 3 of your fucking books. Like, you're a fucking loser. You're all fucking losers. Ramon Villalobos is like, Frank Quitely, huh? Chris Burnham, huh? 2011, huh? Yeah, I'm betting my entire artistic career that all this stuff will just, yeah, it'll just stay forever. The fuck? Losers. You're all fucking losers. So, I mean, if, you know, you just like to watch videos and just kind of laugh at the mainstream, but you shouldn't care enough to let them hurt you in any way. They're all just a bunch of fucking losers. Like, don't let these people end your life. Don't let these people affect your life. They are to be laughed at. Some 500-pound guy who lives with his mom in his 30s, you laugh at guys like that. Some 50-year-old fucking chick who works in a cubicle, and then she's like, ooh, 5 p.m. Time to terrorize an industry I have no interest in. It's a joke. Laugh at them. They're losers. But anyway, let's see if there's anything. Kind of talked around this, but can I scroll this? So yeah, I don't know who half of these characters are. I think half of these are Don Simpson characters, or I don't know. I think I maybe read one of his books once. It's just not really my thing. Like, I'm sure there's references galore for the people who get them, but I didn't. Yeah, so Ed Piskor was murdered. Alex DeCampi is essentially the O.J. Simpson of comics. If you work in the mainstream, like, okay. 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 Like, why? But it's fine. It's not anything admirable. It's not anything to look up to. You are a clown. You're a clown. You are an object of mirth. But anyway, before I go, I'm going to get back to work. So next is I'm going to go finish up this damaged and missing spreadsheet. And then send that off to the fulfillment center, so they should be able to start getting that out just right away. How is this is literally a connector between two dialogue balloons. It's been on there fucking for forever. But it's kind of a moot point because it's like I'm still waiting on the cover, so it's like So actually I already started talking to the people who made the dog tags for, what was it? It was for Expendables, and then I believe Devil Dog set of dog tags. I was actually up at like 2:30 in the morning researching like 1967 era dog tags, because they're supposed to be from like Rambo's first tour of duty. But there's a lot of information. There was like they didn't have social security cards. They had the service number, and then the service number. Holy shit! It is. It's not just like, oh, just make up a like a 12-digit number or something like that. It's like oh no, like this means this, and this means this, and this means this. So if you are like one of those like experts about military history, and you understand, like, because this is really boring, but there's a way to figure out like what somebody's social security, like for somebody who would have been born in like 1948 in Bowie, Arizona, you can like figure out what their social. So I was all into that. It's like, ooh, this is going to be Rambo's real social security number. But with the service numbers, like I believe it's in the range where he's supposed to be like in the like 11 million or 12 million. But like I feel like I would like more information. So if you know about stuff like that, please email me, and then so I'll get the dog tags done today. I'll get the damaged and missing for Rock and Roll Ninja. I mean, the first kill backers list is pretty much done. Speak through on Jawbreaker's contingency dialogue. There's like Jawbreakers Forever is good, like polished, like awesome, but like Jawbreaker's contingency is just like, it's really good. And then there's some, I'm not gonna write a story like that again. Like I got into stuff that was like in my head it made a lot of sense, but when I'm trying to make it understandable to people, like at one point Hellpriest says, this isn't gonna make a lot of sense, but if you have a skeleton inside of your body, you need to leave this room right now. And he shoots a pistol into the air. Like, when I imagined the scene, that made so much sense because, well, there's some spoilers there, but like, I'm like, fucking hell. I think I might need to hire an editor, like, just for this scene, because this shit makes no goddamn sense. Because I don't really use like caption boxes. I don't have a narrator besides just saying like location. You know, that's it. That's like, that's not really a narrator. But it's like, man, if I had a narrator, I could just say that, you know, Hellpriest uses his power and he notices blah 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 blah. But like, so now he's just got to like say shit. I hate when they say shit, but like he knows what he's doing, but like you don't see LeBron's out there saying like, and now I'm gonna shoot the basketball through the hoop from a distance so that I get 3 points instead of 2. Like, he's not saying that shit. He's just saying Kobe or whatever LeBron says. LeBron. But anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.